All right, everyone, this is Tim in the Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk entertainment. Well, it happened. Kadarius Toney traded to the Kansas City Chiefs. Some of us saw it coming. Hell, some of us did a video on it. October 1st. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But again, this is Tim. This is Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York sports talk and entertainment. Kadarius Toney was packaged for some picks and sent over to the Kansas City Chiefs. It is for a conditional third rounder and a sixth round pick, according to Adam Schefter. Toney had been on, they said, I love this. And I love, this is what I talk about with people. Everyone always says the same thing about Kadarius Toney, how wonderful he is, and how the coaching staff marvels at him, and how what a good guy he is, and how he comes into the office and does his job and does everything we ask him to do. And I said it the last month in October. It was October 1st at the video. I said, I call bullshit. Sorry. Of course they're going to say that. That's coach speak. That's GM speak. We heard that he was on solid ground with this regime. That's coach and GM speak. That's all that is. That's nothing else, and that's nothing more, and that's what I tried to tell everyone. Of course, Toney was drafted in the first round, 2021. He's under contract through 2024 and has a fifth-year option for 2025. He's missed the last, 5 games now with the hamstring, and then he injured his other hamstring. He originally hurt his hamstring, and then he tweaked the same hamstring on week 2 in Carolina, and then he hurt his left hamstring on October 5th. The Chiefs have a bye this week, so it's good for Toney. So hopefully he can get in there and do a little things. And the Chiefs are trying to, of course, they're trying to, look for the Tyreek Hill replacement since Tyreek went over to Miami. In the grand scheme of things, though, and just in the grand scheme of things, does it really matter if we have Kadarius Toney? Because of the fact that he was never on the field anyway. And we spoke about it ad nauseum after the light bulb went off in my head that Shane drafted Wan'Dale Robinson as redundancy for Kadarius Toney. And like I said, it was like a big light bulb went off on. I think it was a week after the draft, or maybe 2 weeks after the draft, that the light bulb went off in my head and said they drafted him kind of redundancy. I was like, interesting. And I love the subscribers because the subscribers pointed out to me today, and I got it on Twitter and a bunch of other places, that, yes, I did a video on October 1st called Giants Rumors, Are They Shopping Kadarius Toney? And I had mentioned that I had gotten some information from a gentleman that I've trusted before, and he's worked in the league for multitudes of years, and he retired. He worked in the league for like 35 plus years, and he's retired recently, but he told me that the Giants are shopping Toney. And I believe, it's funny because even on Twitter, I mentioned Kansas City as a definition. I mentioned a 3 and a 6 or a 3 and a 7, and I made it a conditional 3, depending on, that could potentially go into a 2, depending on if he played, a certain amount of snaps and things such as that. But everyone laughed at me. Everyone scoffed at me once again. Go back and watch the video. I'm going to put it in the comments section below. It's October 1st. It's called Are the Giants Shopping Kadarius Toney? And some people are like, you're just bragging again. No, because you know what? They say I'm cocky, but I say what? They say I'm cocky, but I say what? It ain't bragging about my bragging if you back it up. That's right. If you back it up, it's not being cocky. It's just being right. And like I said, one of the things I try to do here is I try to give the information that I can from the sources that I still have. And I laugh because my sources are either retiring or dying off. But you know what? You got to wish Kadarius, you got to wish him well. Yeah, and I love when people get mad at me when I wish players well that leave. I got blasted because I called DeAndre Baker Nino Brown, and then after he got picked up by Kansas City, I wished him well. I don't wish anyone ill that's an ex-Giant. Sorry. If you're an ex-Giant and you know what, you go someplace else, no matter what the circumstance is, it's okay. It's not going to, it doesn't affect me. Maybe because I'm in my 50s and it's one of those things that I'm not 12 years old and I get upset when someone leaves from my team. No, I understand. It's a business. You go to where the money is. You go to where you can make the cash because your career is short enough as it is. And like I said, I wish Kadarius well. I hope he finds happiness in whatever he's looking for. Hope he does well in his rap career. But, for a Giant perspective, it's addition by subtraction because of the fact that you no longer have to sit here and pontificate how long it's going to be for Kadarius Toney to be moved on from. I do think the cap ramifications are what we need to look at in reference to Kadarius Toney moving on. And I think that's the big thing, because like I said, he's only in the second year of his rookie contract. So I'm curious to see exactly. It was a 4-year, $13 million contract. And let's see here. I mean, I don't even remember, but luckily he was a lower pick, so you got a dead cap money of 4.5 next year and 2.5 next. And you know what? It's negatable the contract value. From what and like I said, it's good. Sometimes it's good just to clear the locker room. And I'm not saying he was a bad locker room guy. All I'm just saying is sometimes it's just good to clear the locker room. It's good to move on from someone. You hope he finds success in Kansas City, not against us. And you have to hope that, those picks that we turn into for Toney turn into something, turn into a player, because it's looking like this is another gift from Gettleman, because, Lord knows we couldn't have had Parsons. I even had to pause that one. I even had to pause there for a second. We could have had Parsons. But you know what? It was getting Daniel Jones weapons is why we went and got Kadarius Toney. Never understood it. I've said it a million times before. I said it when the day they drafted him. I said I don't like the pick because of the fact that the nicest things the scouts could say about his route running was that it was unique. And anytime you say something is unique, usually means it's terrible. And people would argue with me on the streams that he'll get better. I'm like, no, he's not going to get better. Sometimes it's like Popeye. Sometimes you are what you am. You am what you am. And don't forget to go out and listen to the new podcast. And that new podcast is Get Off My Lawn, the Mad Ramblings of a Gen Xer. It's on every place podcasts can be found. It's also, I posted it in the comment section. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best New York Giants sports talk in your town. And as always, if you like, if you subscribe, if you're reading that by any means, adios.